The original Zcam E2 has only gotten better since it was originally released back in early 2019. It's now a really well-rounded micro four thirds camera for people who are serious about shooting video. You can now shoot up to 160 frames per second in 4K, shoot Z-RAW and ProRes internally, record ProRes RAW externally, and use the huge range of software surrounding the E2 system to stream, control and capture in a range of ways. Well, today we are looking at the latest update to the E2, and that's the release of the E2-M4. The M4 takes the original E2 sensor and technical specs and adds the same updates the Flagship series has received over the E2 when they were released. First off the bat, you can see that the form factor and design has changed slightly. The camera itself has been beefed up a lot since the original E2. Not only has the camera got a little larger, but it has seen a build quality improvement in several areas. With it being the same form factor as the Flagships, this means that all of the cages that are currently out there for the Flagships will work with the M4 as well. So if you end up getting an M4, make sure you're picking up the right cage. I have left links to all of the current options down in the description below. The buttons have also changed since the E2. They now have a more tactile feel to them, whereas the E2 had more of a mushy feel. I personally wish they had a bit more travel and feedback to them, but they aren't terrible by any means. The back I/O has also changed slightly. You still have the same full-size HDMI port, gigabit Ethernet, wireless antenna port, 5-pin XLR, 2.5mm LANC port and USB-C. However, you now have a much more standard 2-pin LEMO for power input, but you have lost the I/O port and the 9-pin COM port. But you've gained a 12V out 2-pin LEMO and 2 4-pin control ports. You have also lost the dip switch here. This is because the M4 doesn't have the same sync capabilities as the original E2. This seems to be how they have cut the price by the amount that they have, and it now gives people the option to choose whether they need this feature or not. Overall, when comparing the two, these changes make a lot more sense if this camera is going to be either your A or B camera over the original E2. The 2-pin LEMO in and out ports make powering the camera and accessories much easier than the original E2, but if you need the sync functionality of the E2, then you still have that option. The covers for the CFast slot and the headphone/mic ports have also changed. They are now much easier to open up, which was a common complaint with the original E2. Moving on to the front, you have what I think is the biggest upgrade to the M4, the interchangeable MFT mount. The original E2 had a hard mounted MFT mount, which meant a lot of people used native MFT lenses or adapted to EF or PL using a speed booster or regular adapter. However, with this new mount, you can now remove the MFT mount from the front of it and use one of the other mounts that Zcam make. You currently have 4 options: the MFT one that comes with it, EF, PL or Leica M mount. Zcam have also spoken about the possibility of an E mount too, which would be awesome. Obviously, when using these mounts natively, you will need to take the crop factor of the 4/3 sensor into account. However, the benefits of using the PL and EF adapter is the ability to use the END unit that Zcam makes. This unit will not work with the MFT mount, M mount or with the turbo mount, but will with the EF and PL mounts. The END unit slides into the mount, and this can be then controlled via the menu or via the clutch remote handle, which you can reprogram to control it. To install the cartridge, you are required to remove the clear one already in the camera's mount by removing these 2 screws, sliding out the clear filter and sliding in the END cartridge. I do wish that this was toolless, but it's not a huge issue. The ND starts at 1.7 stops and can then be adjusted in 3rd stop increments all the way up to 6.7 stops. Zcam have stated that they will be adding an auto ND mode similar to the way that the other in-camera auto ND systems work. I think this will be a really popular option. However, another really awesome mount that Zcam are also releasing is the turbo mount. This is Zcam's own focal reducer that will mount directly onto the M4 and the Flagship's IMS mount. It has a 0.71 focal reduction, which will give you an extra stop of light and will allow you to use EF mount lenses. This will be a great addition for the M4 and S6, though without testing it's hard to say what the optical quality will be. But if the END is anything to go by, it will be good. The pricing has also changed. Excluding VAT, the original E2 comes in at £1,695 and the E2-M4 is around £350 cheaper at £1,349. That puts it at around the same price as the GH5S. However, unlike other cameras, there are a few key accessories that are worth adding. These would definitely be a cage, a monitor, and some kind of handle, whether it's a side or top. I've put a few options down in the description, but personally I like rigging these cameras up like mini RED packages, so cage, top mounted monitor, and a side handle. If you want to cut down on cost, I would suggest the Portkeys P6 as your monitor, but if you want to be able to record ProRes RAW and control the camera in the future, I'd pick up the Atomos Ninja 5. Overall, the M4 is a logical next step for the E2. It takes everything that people love from the original E2, takes away the multicam sync capabilities, which not every end user needs or wants, and adds all of the features that people wanted to see from the flagship cameras when they came out. The price reduction has now made the E2-M4 an even more attractive option, and it has some very unique features that other cameras at its price point do not. For anyone wanting to upgrade from a mirrorless camera to a camera designed for shooting motion, this may be the perfect camera for you. Let us know what you think of the M4 in the comments below, and if you enjoyed, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.